Was rereading one of my favorite books, Atomic Habits. James Clear, the author, talks about how all change is an identity shift at the core. You want to get fit. Is the goal to run 2 miles? No, it's to become a runner. You want to stop smoking. Is the goal to reduce your cigarettes? Okay, that's enough, that's enough. No, the goal is to become a non-smoker. And yes, even the goal of this very video is not just to inspire you. Well, that was nice, on to the next one. To hopefully give you a breakthrough or a mini epiphany that changes your life. Hopefully for the better. What's that? She said, unless you steal his jokes, those won't change your life for the better. And so in this video, there's 4 things you need to do in order to bridge that gap to where you are and where you want to be. I'm gonna walk you through them step by step, starting with number 1. When I read this statistic, I couldn't believe it. Up to 46% of every single thing you do is habit-based. It's habitual. You might have heard me talk about other research that you have 60,000 thoughts a day, and that most of them are repetitive thoughts from the day before. Most people are going through life in this sort of trance-like haze. The most important belief there is, and that's why it's number 1 and the first step to shifting your identity, is that you are a co-creator. You're not just a victim of circumstance. You don't have to play on those same 46% that are habits and 60,000 thoughts that are just repeating on this giant loop that's just spinning and spinning and spinning. I have no control. Life happens to me. You can change your habits. You can change your thoughts. You can change your beliefs. You can change your stories. Once you start realizing, holy shit, I'm a powerful mother, bingo, you got your power back. Let's change your view. The second step in shifting your identity. Cool if I tell you a quick story? There I was in 2nd grade math. The teacher needed someone to come up on this big chalkboard. Okay, you get the ones, do 1 through 12. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 2 is 2. Then there were the 2s, 2 times 2 is 4. Then there was the 3s, all the way through 12. I was looking around like, please don't call on me, please don't call on me. But no, I got called on to come up and do the 11s. Looking back, 11s is as easy as 10s. You just repeat the number. I didn't know that trick. I didn't get the memo on 11s. So I go up there, 2nd grade version of me. Everyone was done doing the multiplication, so it's only me up there, and I'm struggling. I was trying to add in my head, 11 plus 11 is, oh, it's 25, and then 32, and It was a train wreck. I was the last one up there. She wasn't a very supportive teacher, needless to say, and the whole class paying attention and laughing. When I trace it back, I picked up the belief that I was not good at math from that one experience of not being able to write 11s on the board. I carried that experience around with me throughout all of elementary school, all of middle school, all of high school. Oh, I'm just bad at math. Oh, math, and I would freeze. Until eventually I got into business. Some of my favorite parts of the day are looking at numbers and statistics and graphs and percentages. It inspires me. I find a lot of joy in them. My analytical brain loves math. That 2nd grade version of me could have loved math that whole 20 years, but it was a story I was telling myself because of one event. We carry those stories about people, events, what we can and can't do, being too young, too old, ex-boyfriends and girlfriends, jobs, bosses who wronged us, and we start collecting these experiences. And those become our stories, which prevent us and hold us back. And if we never let go and release those or heal those or change the meaning of them, it's gonna be really hard to shift into that 2.0 version of you. So a big part of self-development is not developing, it's self-healing. And those are 2 different things. A lot of self-growth comes from when you don't realize what happened to you, but you go to the root of why it happened. And you're 100% in control of that. Changing the meaning. This is meaning making. The point is getting to the root and doing some self-healing before you try and tackle self-growth. They go hand in hand. But if you don't get back to that 2nd grade version of you, you're gonna be feeling like you hate math, even though it's just a limiting story that you've been carrying around. And once you get to that, you start realizing, holy cow, what other stories am I carrying around that are holding me back? So now you're aware. Now you have the core stories and the 1.0 you're getting context of why you do what you do. You're ready for step number 3, the most fun step, what I call your dream character. It's been said by philosophers, the great Joe Rogan. I like his take, that you're the hero of your own movie. Pretend there's a documentary being filmed right now about you. What would the hero in that version do? Before this whole lockdown mess, I toured in a band. That's the night gig. YouTube's the day gig. And before I had the band, I was just another kid who had a dream of being a rock star. Since I was 14 years old, that's what I wanted to do. I would go in and play to live concert tracks because I needed to hear the crowd to get pumped. I can't hear you, come on. And I would envision these crowds playing on Warped Tour, playing on Download Fest, playing at Rock am Ring, Rock im Park in Germany. I wanted it so bad. I wanted to just step out on that stage and see a sea of 20,000, 30,000 people. But I knew that the current skill level I had was not gonna cut it. And so while being a rock star seemed completely far-fetched, literally, I wasn't even in a band at the time. So I said, okay, it's not in my control that this band just falls into my lap. But what is in my control? The version of me who practices his ass off. In my mind, I started going through every single scenario of what I could possibly do to become that person who was playing to 20, 30,000 people internationally. And then it hit me, I'm like, dude, instead of just trying to start a band, what if I try to attract one? They'll probably look at drum covers and see it. After 8 years, band hits me up, says, Clark, we saw one of your videos. Are you available to come to audition in LA? I just about lost my mind. Thought it was a prank or their account got hacked or something like that. Freaking out. Turns out it wasn't a joke, it was dead serious. 8 years later, I did my first US tour. Since then, I've played close to 100 shows with the band over a 6-year period. It's been the coolest experience of my life. I get chills every single time I step on that stage, man. It showed me that manifestation and creating this dream version of you and like giving yourself the freaking permission to just dream big works. I have such conviction and unwavering faith in that belief that if you truly write down exactly what you want and you create that dream life for yourself, that dream character, and you just give yourself the permission. I'm almost getting angry because I realize like most people never even give themselves 10 freaking minutes to suspend disbelief, to let themselves get in the state of where anything is possible. Most people start to write, well, I would like a big house. Oh, come on, be realistic, dude. We have this inner child that wants to write like, I'd like to make $1 million. And the adult in us is like, you and everyone else, dude. I'd like to be in the best shape of my life. Dude, you're 45. You're so hard on yourself. And if you can't give yourself permission, take my permission. Step 1, get a journal. Step 2, open up a blank page. Blank page, come on. Step 3, set a timer on your iPhone for 10 minutes. Step 4, let your imagination run completely wild. Who is this dream character, this 2.0 version of you? Don't censor yourself. I want you to list out at least 5 things that 2.0 you has, does, feels, says, is. And if this don't get you excited, I don't know what will. In my Metamorphic program, we create what's called the manifesto. It goes super deep on that dream character because I know it's hard for people to suspend that self-judgment, but man, is it important. Awareness, the 1.0 you healing, the 2.0 you creating. You're ready for the 4th step. You know what that is? The most important part, action. Not just any action though. Let's dive deeper. Remember, because most people are on 46% habits, the actions that they're taking, even if they continue doing them, they're not gonna change. Atomic Habits talks about how every action you take casts a vote for the person that you want to become. In that case, I'd like to cast this vote for looking like Chris Hemsworth, please. I'd like to cast the 2nd vote for not having my dog shit on my rug. There's a story in the book that talks about this guy who wanted to stop biting his fingernails. His wife got on him, dude, that's gross. Don't you know there's pretty much every single thing under those nails? Putting it in your mouth, I'm kissing that mouth, it's disgusting. After trying to go cold turkey, nothing worked. So what did he do? He called up the nearest manicure store and he booked an appointment to get his nails done. Nails did? Is that what the girls are saying? Walks in there, gets a manicure, and the woman compliments him on how good of quality of nails that he has. Me? You really mean it? Yes, your nails are great. Keep taking those omegas. Small little compliment, but he walked out of there with a little new identity. Wow, my nails do look pretty good. I do have really nice nails. And once he had the belief that he had nice nails and he put money into them, you think he wanted to bite them off and make them look bad and ruin them? That's how he stopped biting his nails. You confirm that you are this 2.0 version of you by reinforcing it every single day. The actions he took confirmed the new identity. And pretty soon he went from, oh, I am a nail biter to, no, I don't bite my nails. That's not the version of me that exists. Remember, there's a gap between who you are and who you're capable of being. So what are the actions that you need to take to close the gap? The bigger this gap, maybe the longer it'll take. And so once you close this, all of a sudden this 1.0 and 2.0, oh, now you are that 2.0. A good question to answer is, what am I resisting? 9 times out of 10, you know the action you need to take. You're just resisting it. It's human nature. You walk into a gym, what's the best exercises that are gonna actually build muscle? Pull-ups, deadlifts, squats, compound heavy movement. It's bodybuilding 101. But what are the exercises most people are avoiding or dreading? I don't want to do pull-ups, dude. That's gonna take so much energy. That's so hard. They go on machines for 30 minutes. They text on their phone because it's the path of least resistance. It doesn't matter that they're showing up to the gym. It's not gonna get them the results. It's not gonna close the gap. It's not about doing things right. It's just going to the gym. That's the advice I heard. I'm going to the gym to get fit. It's about doing the right things. Very important. And once you've identified the massive levers that you can pull to start closing this gap, now you're ready for actual productivity advice and productivity hacks. That's where this becomes useful. You don't need these timers and tricks and apps. You just need more focus and you need to do the right things. You also need the awareness, healing the 1.0 you, creating that 2.0 you, and then you need to start shifting and taking the massive action to close that gap. If you'd like our help in that step-by-step process, we've taken over 300 people that went from just watching videos like you to picking up the phone or applying and talking to one of our coaches and then being like, I like these guys. They're kind of cool. I think this thing could work. To then going through it and getting great results. I'll link down below where you can have that conversation that just might change your life. At the very least, you're gonna walk away with a free game plan because it's a free call and you know what to do and you're a little closer to where you wanna be. At the very most, that call could change your life and help you get to the 2.0 version of you. Remember how important I said healing the 1.0 you is? What I'm gonna do now is link up our playlist on shadow work, on letting go, on some of those techniques so you can go a little deeper, start peeling back the layers of the 1.0 you. Click here, watch it now, I'll see you there.